Imagine braving the most treacherous roads on Earth, only to discover the real struggle lies within. This is the deeply moving story of Lisa Kelly from Ice Road Truckers. Celebrated for her fearless spirit and unwavering determination, Lisa captured the admiration of millions. Yet, behind the fame, demanding schedules, and constant media scrutiny, she endured challenges that few ever saw. This account reveals the lesser-known journey of Lisa Kelly, her meteoric rise, the heartbreak behind her quiet departure, and the internal battles she faced beyond the camera's view. Ice Road Truckers first aired in June 2007 and quickly resonated with audiences. Unlike typical reality shows, it immersed viewers in a raw and unforgiving world, remote, frozen highways across Canada and Alaska, where drivers risked their lives to transport essential goods. These weren't ordinary roads, they were temporary ice paths stretching across frozen lakes and rivers, liable to fracture under the massive weight of cargo-laden trucks. The early seasons highlighted routes through Canada's Northwest Territories, such as the Tibet to Contouito Winter Road. Driving on these perilous roads meant enduring sub-zero temperatures, unstable terrain, and the constant danger of falling through ice. Breakdowns, avalanches, and isolation were part of the daily grind. The intensity and authenticity of the show drew viewers in, making it a breakout success. Later seasons shifted focus to Alaska's Dalton Highway, amplifying the show's popularity. This stretch introduced more perilous elements, steep inclines, desolate terrain, and brutally long hauls. Drivers had to remain flawless for 400 miles at a time, knowing that a single error could be fatal. While the physical danger was compelling, what truly captivated viewers were the stories of the people behind the wheel. Season 3 brought a fresh face to the series, Lisa Kelly. At first glance, she defied expectations of what an ice road trucker looked like. That contrast made her journey all the more powerful. As the first major female driver featured on the show, Lisa wasn't just proving herself to her coworkers but also to an audience that had only seen men dominate the industry. From the start, she approached the job with determination and quiet confidence, relying on skill rather than fanfare. Whether she was chaining up in whiteout conditions or maneuvering massive loads through hairpin turns, Lisa faced every challenge head-on. Her authenticity and resilience struck a chord with fans. Very quickly, she became a standout, not because she was different, but because she was just as tough, talented, and determined as any of her male counterparts. Her presence didn't just diversify the cast, it redefined the narrative. Ice Road Truckers evolved into a story about overcoming limits, both physical and societal. Lisa's journey began far from the glare of television lights. Born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, she moved with her family to Sterling, Alaska, at just 6 years old. The transition was anything but glamorous. They settled on a modest farm in a remote area, surrounded by wilderness and far removed from modern conveniences. Life in Alaska taught Lisa early that comfort was earned, not given. She didn't dream of trucking as a child, and her path to the driver's seat was far from predictable. As a young adult, she worked various jobs, pumping gas, racing motocross, but the turning point came during an unremarkable stint delivering pizzas and later driving a school bus. That's when she discovered her love of driving. It wasn't about adrenaline or excitement. It was the sense of command, freedom, and responsibility that came with handling something larger than herself. While others might have brushed off that spark, Lisa leaned in. She used her school bus job to earn her commercial driver's license, a critical step into a male-dominated field shaped by unforgiving environments. Her first major opportunity came with Carlisle Transportation, a respected Alaskan freight company known for taking on some of the toughest deliveries. Lisa wasn't given a pass, she had to earn her position like everyone else. She knew she'd be underestimated, but she didn't let that discourage her. Instead, she stayed focused, determined to prove her worth through hard work. In her early days at Carlisle, she was often the only woman on the lot, quietly learning, loading, and preparing alongside her male peers. She didn't ask for special treatment and never expected it. The long hours, frozen mornings, and harsh working conditions weren't obstacles, they were the proving grounds that shaped her. Lisa didn't make a grand entrance into trucking. She worked her way in, steadily and quietly, driven by resilience and a deep sense of purpose. Once on Ice Road Truckers, Lisa quickly became a key figure. Her ability to stay composed under pressure on the Dalton Highway made her stand out in a cast full of seasoned veterans. Though soft-spoken and modest, behind the wheel, she exuded focus and authority. Her genuine approach earned her admiration, not through flash, but through sheer capability. Viewers respected her not because she was spotlighted as extraordinary, but because she held her own like any other driver on that brutal stretch of road. Her rising popularity led to a spot on Ice Road Truckers, Deadliest Roads, a spin-off that sent veteran drivers to navigate some of the world's most perilous routes. Lisa was one of the few from the original series selected for its debut season, filmed in the Himalayas. This new challenge brought cliffside paths in India where even the slightest mistake could result in disaster. Lisa remained composed, proving her skills yet again. She later traveled to South America for another season, facing routes where the road itself was often more dangerous than the weather. By 2010, Lisa's reputation had spread beyond reality television. She was invited onto The Late Show with David Letterman, where she recounted her experiences with humility and a touch of humor. Around the same time, Esquire magazine featured her in a photo shoot, naming her the sexiest trucker alive. But behind the growing fame, few understood the emotional and physical toll it all had taken. Lisa Kelly's story is one of grit, grace, and perseverance, but also of the unseen burdens that come with the spotlight. It was a strange twist in Lisa Kelly's journey. On one hand, she was finally being recognized as a serious professional in a male-dominated industry. On the other, she was simultaneously being molded to fit into the world of celebrity culture. For someone whose only ambition had been to drive trucks, the transition was jarring. Behind the scenes, the pressure was unrelenting, demanding filming schedules, constant presence of production crews, and the disappearance of the quiet downtime once inherent in trucking life. That space was now filled with interviews, media obligations, and non-stop travel. Eventually, Lisa acknowledged how heavily the workload weighed on her. The overlapping seasons of Ice Road Truckers and its spin-off, Deadliest Roads, coupled with unending publicity duties, left her drained. By the time the sixth season of the main series began, she made the decision to take a break, not as a dramatic departure, but out of sheer exhaustion. She needed to pause and catch her breath. Lisa never sought fame; her visibility came as a result of excelling in her work. Yet, as the cameras continued rolling and her presence in the spotlight grew, the toll of being both a trucker and a television personality became increasingly apparent. Her quiet exit surprised many. When Season 6 aired without her, fans were left stunned. By then, Lisa had become one of the show's most prominent and respected figures, not only a skilled driver but a fan favorite who had earned admiration across the country. Her absence sparked rumors. Was there a dispute with producers? A contract disagreement? Had she left the show quietly after it had defined her public image? Online speculation ran wild. But the real reason was far more personal and telling of the pressures that come with unscripted fame. Executive producer Tom Beers later clarified the situation, saying Lisa had been offered a contract for Season 6 but chose not to return. That's it. We invited her back, would have loved to have her. She's just taking a year off. Though professional and respectful, Beers' statement hinted at something deeper than just scheduling conflicts. The reality was, Lisa had been pushing herself to the limit in ways most viewers never saw. While fans watched a calm and composed figure on screen, they didn't witness the grind behind it: back-to-back productions, international travel, repeated takes, media appearances, and, amidst all that, real trucking in extreme conditions. In a rare interview reflecting on her time with the series, Lisa admitted the fatigue had finally caught up to her. "I just wanted to do my job, go home, and be normal," she shared. The constant spotlight, tight production timelines, and emotional burden of being the only female lead in a high-pressure, male-dominated environment had worn her thin. For someone who never sought fame, the relentless glare of reality TV had become overwhelming. Her exit wasn't driven by scandal; it was a necessary boundary. This quiet departure highlighted a difficult truth often ignored in reality television: real people have limits. The fearless trucker who battled Arctic conditions on screen was real, but the cost was high. The true struggle wasn't walking away, it was the personal sacrifice she made to reclaim a sense of balance. The very qualities that made fans admire her, grit, authenticity, passion, also left her vulnerable to burnout. By stepping away, Lisa sent a clear message. She wasn't just a TV personality, she was a real person taking back control of her life. In doing so, she prompted an important question for the industry and its audience. What does it truly take to survive in the spotlight, and is it worth it once the cameras are off? Her return in Season 7 marked a powerful moment. It wasn't dramatic or showy, just Lisa, renewed and ready to hit the treacherous Alaskan roads again. For fans, it was a meaningful comeback. Her return felt purposeful, and she jumped back into trucking with the quiet resolve that had always set her apart. This marked the beginning of her final run. From Season 7 through the series' conclusion in 2017, Lisa remained one of ice road truckers' most enduring and respected figures. Over the course of more than 80 episodes, more than half of the show's total, she consistently faced increasingly challenging routes, harsh climates, and unpredictable terrain. She didn't just keep up, she led. As the seasons went on, Lisa became a cornerstone of the series. She earned the admiration of her peers and the loyalty of a broad fan base. But beyond her trucking skills, what stood out most was that she stayed in the game long after the cameras were gone. When Ice Road Truckers concluded its 11-season run, many cast members faded from the spotlight, but Lisa didn't. Instead, she found ways to stay connected to both the trucking world and her fans. She continued to drive professionally, staying true to her roots. In 2023, she lent her voice and likeness to the PC game Alaskan Road Truckers, reinforcing her commitment to the lifestyle that had shaped her public identity. She also maintained a presence on social media and YouTube, offering fans glimpses into her life without turning it into a spectacle. In her final seasons, viewers witnessed more than a skilled driver. They saw a woman who had grown in confidence and command. No longer just the breakout star of Season 3, she had become a symbol of endurance, strength, and authenticity. When the show ended, Lisa exited on her own terms, still driving, still grounded, and still moving forward. Her resilience after the show's end proved even more powerful. Many expected Lisa to retreat from public life, but she chose another path, one that balanced visibility without chasing celebrity. Among her post-show efforts was a notable partnership with Chevron's Dello brand in a 16-part digital series called Destination Further, Lisa Kelly. The project was more than a look at heavy-duty machines. It offered a deeper view of Lisa's work ethic as she operated excavators, hauled loads, and shared insights into engine maintenance while navigating the backcountry of Alaska. The series offered an unvarnished and authentic view into Lisa Kelly's life, both on the road and off it. This collaboration went beyond simple branding. It was about telling her story on her own terms. Each episode emphasized her mechanical know-how, independence, and the everyday demands she faced in a rugged, rural setting. Lisa wasn't merely endorsing a product in these episodes, she was affirming her identity as someone deeply rooted in this lifestyle. Even after the filming ended, she didn't step away from the values that defined her. Beyond the trucking spotlight, Lisa returned to a personal passion, horses. Long before television found her, she had a deep affection for animals. Once the series concluded, she made space once again for this part of her life. On her property in Alaska, she began looking after several horses, focusing on training, rehabilitating rescues, and settling into a slower, more grounded routine. In interviews, Lisa has described this transition not as a retreat from the industry, but as a necessary counterbalance to the years of high-speed, high-pressure driving under the public eye. Even with her focus shifting, Lisa didn't disappear from the public stage. She continued making appearances at trucking expos and trade shows across the globe, including in the UK and Ireland, where fans showed up in droves. To international audiences, she wasn't just a reality TV personality, she symbolized resilience, professionalism, and humility. These events allowed her to stay connected to the community, without the demands of long-term filming commitments. Lisa also never gave up driving. She currently pilots a Freightliner Coronado 122 SD, a vehicle designed for toughness and endurance, qualities that mirror her own career. She still takes on heavy hauls and rough terrain, proving that her skills weren't crafted in an editing booth but earned through miles of real-world experience. Though her time on reality TV has ended, Lisa hasn't sought reinvention. She remains anchored in the qualities that first won people's respect: perseverance, dependability, and a quiet refusal to back down. For those who followed her journey, that steadfast determination has become her true legacy. Lisa's path wasn't just about navigating icy roads, it was about facing the difficult truths of both the trucking industry and the world of reality television. She shed light on struggles that often remain hidden, particularly for women working in male-dominated fields. In a revealing interview, she shared that she wasn't paid during the early seasons of Ice Road Truckers, despite the show's success and the hazards of her job. Worse, she was chosen largely for her appearance and labeled eye candy, a stark example of the sexism embedded in the industry. Refusing to be defined by surface-level judgments, Lisa made it her mission to demonstrate skill and professionalism on the road. As one of the few female truckers featured on the show, her visibility was groundbreaking, but it came with extra pressure. She had to fight harder for credibility and endured more scrutiny than her male peers. Any mistake she made could have reinforced harmful stereotypes about women in trucking. Still, she stayed focused on doing her job well and let her actions speak louder than critics. Being part of a reality show added another layer of challenge. While the program gave her fame and a voice, it also meant constant surveillance and lost privacy. Production often clashed with the realities of her work, and Lisa had to juggle staying true to the job with the demands of entertainment. At times, producers shaped her on-screen persona in ways that didn't align with who she truly was. Lisa expressed frustration with these portrayals, which often overlooked her expertise and dedication. Still, she stayed committed, becoming a role model who broke down barriers and challenged long-standing biases. Her journey underscores the need for more equity and respect across all professions. By 2021, years after Ice Road Truckers had left regular programming, Lisa hadn't ruled out a return. She openly expressed a willingness to come back if the series ever continued, noting that many fans and former cast members shared that sentiment. But then the pandemic hit, freezing any potential plans and making production more difficult, especially for a show filmed in remote, dangerous conditions. Despite the delay, Lisa's legacy remained strong. Her evolution from rookie to veteran continues to draw on longtime fans and new viewers alike, thanks to streaming platforms that have revived interest in the show. These digital platforms gave Lisa's story a new life. People everywhere can now witness her trademark focus and toughness. She didn't just star in a series, she helped preserve a moment in trucking history that highlighted someone who never intended to be a symbol but naturally became one. Even without the spotlight, Lisa's involvement in the industry has endured. She still participates in select trade shows and keeps her driving skills sharp. She has never tried to build her brand on controversy or theatrics. Instead, she's remained grounded, letting her character and work ethic speak for themselves. Fans gravitate to Lisa not because of dramatic antics, but because of her quiet strength and competence. She didn't seek out celebrity or put on a show, her appeal lies in authenticity. That rare combination of real skill and humility shaped a legacy that doesn't need a flashy ending. Lisa's journey is proof that genuine stories still resonate. Whether she left quietly or returned boldly, her narrative always came back to the road. As long as her episodes are streamed and fans wonder about the show's future, her place in the Ice Road story remains secure, not as a side note, but as its defining figure. Lisa Kelly's story ultimately says something profound about endurance, not just in trucking, but in navigating life under public scrutiny. And if Ice Road Truckers ever came back, would her influence stay the same or grow into something even bigger? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Share your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time.